And then, get this, she names the puppy a Bollocks.
For heaven's sake. That is not where you start. We haven't even introduced the book. And must you use that word with such relish?
Relish? It's the best part. Forget the dragons. Forget the $4 million her psycho mom hid from her. The dog is named Testicles. In Ireland, this isn't nuance, this is comedy gold. Or possibly a cry for help from Nora Roberts.
Welcome to Heart Book Radio, listeners. If you're just tuning in, my co-host has already skipped ahead to the canine nomenclature in Nora Roberts' The Awakening.
And I'm the only one here brave enough to say bollocks on air. So, queen of people bumping uglies in quaint seaside towns, decides to write Lord of the Rings. Is this a midlife crisis? Did she lose a bet?
It's a pivot to the fantasy genre, a bold move for such an established author. The Awakening is the first in the Dragonheart Legacy trilogy, following Breen Kelly, a young teacher drowning in debt who discovers a massive inheritance and a hidden magical world connected to her family.
Hidden world, hidden money. What else was Mommy Dearest hiding? A secret second family. Hoffa's body, $4 million. I wouldn't be finding myself in Ireland. I'd be finding myself on a solid gold jet ski.
Must everything relate back to ostentatious wealth with you? Breen's journey is about self-discovery, escaping a controlling mother.
A rip-roaring bitch, according to one 5-star review. See, even our fans know the mom's the real monster here, not some shadowy fantasy evil. Forget the dragon's sick mom, on Jennifer.
Jennifer is appalling. Hiding that kind of money, the constant undermining, it's psychological abuse, plain and simple. Breen starts as quite downtrodden.
Downtrodden? She's a wet noodle. A lumpish doormat. One reviewer called her, finds millions, jets off, becomes the chosen one, and a best-selling author overnight. Where's the struggle? This isn't a character arc. It's a lottery win combined with a fairy godmother. We forgot the Kim carriage and just handed over the keys to the kingdom. And don't get me started on her suddenly becoming a warrior after, 2 weeks of training montage.
I agree the pacing of her development is accelerated, but some readers find her relatable because she starts anxious and unsure. Unlike, say, Keegan, the brooding warrior chief.
My man, got a dragon runs the show. Okay, maybe a little grumpy.
A little grumpy. Reviewers called him an orphan MC, a jerk, an F-boy. There's literally a review claiming he flies off on his dragon to sleep with someone else after a fight with Breen.
Fake news. Probably. Maybe the dragon just needed a walk. A flight? You can't keep a dragon cooped up. It's cruel. Breen was probably being annoying. Maybe she was talking about her student loans again after finding $4 million.
He flew off on a dragon to commit infidelity, allegedly. How are you defending this? It's toxic. It's worse than Edward Cullen watching Bella sleep.
Hey, leave Edward out of this. At least Keegan doesn't sparkle. And speaking of weird relationships, what about Marco, the best friend?
Marco is supportive, a good friend to Breen.
He's a walking stereotype. You got this, girl. Does he have a personality outside of cheering Breen on from his job at a drag bar? It feels lazy, like the author just needed a sassy gay friend and ticked a box.
I think that's perhaps uncharitable.
Uncharitable. Is naming a dog Bollocks charitable? Let's talk about that again.
No, let's talk about whether the book is actually good, because the opinions are polarized. You have people saying, wow, just wow, and offering internal organs for the sequels.
Yeah, like that psycho wanting to give a kidney for books 2 and 3. Get a grip, it's a book.
And then you have others calling it absolute trash, an insult to the fantasy genre, people who laughed at the winged men. One reviewer simply said, DNF, bored.
I get the bored part. It takes forever to get going. Find the money, pack the bags, fly to Ireland, wander around Ireland, find the magic tree, finally get to Narnia, on Shannon. I needed more dragons. Less existential dread about paying Philadelphia apartment rent.
The world building takes time, but we have to address the horses.
Oh yeah, the horses. So Breen, our delicate flower heroine, apparently gets a bit hot under the collar watching a stallion service a mare.
It's described in rather vivid detail, her reaction. It's deeply uncomfortable. What was Roberts thinking? Was that supposed to be symbolic of Breen's awakening sexuality? Because it just reads as alarming.
Alarming. It's hilarious. And weird. Did we get any listen emails about that? Probably not. The FCC would shut us down. We did get one, though. Brenda from Boys writes, my neighbor keeps calling his cat Wanker. Is that the same thing as Bollocks? Should I call the high? Brenda, I think you've got bigger problems.
Why do we read these emails? So, stripping away the dog's name, the equine voyeurism, the maybe cheating dragon boyfriend, is there a decent story here?
Look, it's like Eat, Pray, Love got drunk with The Lord of the Rings in a cheap motel, and 9 months later this book popped out. But you can't look away. If Breen were a sandwich, she'd be plain white bread with a single slice of lukewarm American cheese.
That's oddly specific and cruel. I think she's more like sourdough. Takes a while to develop, a bit dense at first but has potential. Maybe.
So disagree on everything. Time for the ratings.
Fine. Given the problematic elements, the questionable character choices, and that scene, I give The Awakening 3 out of 10 hidden bank accounts. It needed more auditing.
Weak. I give it 4 out of 5 Bollocks. It made me angry. It made me question Nora Roberts' sanity. That's entertainment, baby. Forget literary merit.
Join us next week, folks, when my co-host has apparently chosen a book called My Sentient Toaster Oven Demands Blood. I refuse to confirm or deny this.
It's gonna be great, toasters. Murder. Maybe some romance. Who knows? Until then, keep those pages turning, you magnificent weirdos.
This has been Heart Book Radio. Please make it stop.